Constantinople, 548 AD. Behind the golden doors of the imperial palace, physicians surround a bed draped in Tyrian purple, the rare dye worth more than gold, reserved only for emperors. The woman dying there once performed completely naked on stage while trained geese pecked grain scattered across her body. Now she wears the crown that rules half the known world. Empress Theodora opens her eyes one final time. Her husband, Emperor Justinian, weeps uncontrollably beside her, the most powerful man on earth reduced to a grieving husband. Courtiers bow their heads. Priests chant prayers. But the servants who dress her, who know what truly happens behind closed doors, exchange silent, fearful glances. They hold secrets that could destroy an empire. Theodora lived 3 entirely separate lives. To the public, she was a pious empress who built magnificent churches and protected vulnerable women. To the court, she was a ruthless political genius who ordered thousands slaughtered without remorse. To the servants, spies, and midnight visitors to her private chambers, she was something far darker. This is the story of how a bearkeeper's daughter who performed shocking acts in Constantinople's underworld became the most powerful woman in Byzantine history, how she manipulated laws to marry an emperor, maintained a hidden network of lovers while wed to the most scrutinized man alive, and died revered as a saint despite a life that would make modern scandals seem tame. As servants prepare her body for burial, they notice strange marks on her skin that no faithful wife should have. They find hidden objects confirming decades of whispers. They discover letters revealing desires one court historian called inhuman. Yet they say nothing. Even in death, Theodora remains the most dangerous woman in the city. What follows draws from 3 sources: official histories portraying her as a reformed sinner turned holy empress, Procopius's secret writings, hidden for centuries and filled with claims so extreme scholars still debate them, and recent archaeological finds from the palace suggesting Procopius may have understated the truth. This is not just another tale of ancient scandal. It is the story of a woman who weaponized her sexuality to rise from the gutter to the throne, used her body as a political instrument while projecting perfect Christian virtue, and indulged appetites so extreme they required secret architectural changes to the palace itself. Around 500 AD, in the shadowy basement of Constantinople's great Hippodrome, a young girl learns her body is the only currency that matters. Little Theodora, perhaps 5 years old in 505 AD, watches her father die not from a bear attack but from a simple infected scratch. Within days, her desperate mother parades Theodora and her sisters before the chariot racing factions, begging for protection. The Greens, her father's former employers, publicly reject them. Their rivals, the Blues, accept the girls, partly as an insult to the Greens. This public humiliation of 3 young children will echo through history. By age 12, Theodora is on stage. In 6th century Constantinople, theater was legalized prostitution with costumes. Actresses were legally classified as prostitutes, no distinction existed. You danced, stripped, and served paying clients. Sometimes the performance itself was the paid act, watched by audiences for things otherwise illegal unless called art. Procopius describes her signature routine in chilling detail. She lay naked on stage, wearing only a thin ribbon across her groin, while assistants scattered barley grains over her body. Trained geese pecked the grains away, starting at her chest and moving downward as she feigned ecstasy for the crowd. But Theodora understood power. The men watching, senators, merchants, future emperors, were exposing their deepest desires and weaknesses. While they thought they consumed her, she catalogued them. Every fetish became intelligence. Every request became leverage. Even hostile accounts agree, she possessed extraordinary intelligence, perfect memory for faces and conversations, and the ability to make any man feel he was the only one in the room. She spoke multiple languages, quoted classical authors, and debated theology with bishops, all while earning money through her body. Reports claim she once serviced 30 men in a single night, then complained she had only 3 orifices. Another describes her challenging entire military units to exhaust her. The numbers are likely exaggerated, but even half would suggest superhuman endurance. By 16, she attended private gatherings of the ultra-wealthy, events where trade deals and political alliances were sealed amid naked bodies. She memorized everything, choosing patrons with real power and cultivating relationships with their wives. Her longest early liaison was with Hippodrome, governor of North Africa. After 4 years, he abandoned her penniless in Alexandria. Instead of returning to prostitution, she spent a year studying Christian theology, not from sudden piety, but because she recognized Christianity's growing dominance. She mastered Monophysite doctrine and built ties with powerful bishops, crafting the narrative of the repentant sinner she would later need. Back in Constantinople by 522, she supposedly earned a living spinning wool, a transparent euphemism, while pursuing her true goal, marriage into the imperial family. Justinian, 40 years old, celibate by reputation and obsessed with law and theology, first saw her at a private gathering he should never have attended. She was 22. Their meeting, whether love at first sight or calculated seduction, changed history. Theodora had orchestrated it through old contacts. She knew his habits, his inexperience with women, his vulnerabilities. Within months he wanted marriage. But Roman law permanently barred senators from marrying actresses. The stigma was eternal. Empress Euphemia, Justinian's adoptive mother, blocked the union furiously. Everyone knew Theodora's past. She waited patiently, cultivating allies, donating publicly to churches, performing redemption perfectly. When Euphemia died in 524, Justinian persuaded his uncle to change the law, explicitly allowing reformed actresses to marry into the elite. No one was fooled. The empire's legal code was rewritten for one former prostitute. Their 525 wedding was spectacular. Theodora entered Hagia Sophia as a redeemed sinner and left as future empress. When Justinian ascended in 527, she became true co-ruler, issuing edicts, receiving ambassadors, commanding her own court and budget. No woman in Roman history had held such official power. Yet Procopius claims her private life remained shocking. Secret passages were added to her wing after 527. Alleged lovers included generals who received sudden promotions, bishops granted wealthy parishes, ambassadors achieving impossible deals, all linked by prolonged, private audiences. Palace modifications included heated pools with special underwater seating, mechanical devices from India, mirrors creating infinite reflections. Archaeological evidence shows unusual plumbing and supports in her quarters. The great contradiction: the same woman who attended church daily, funded convents, passed laws protecting women from forced prostitution, allegedly maintained a shadow world that made her theater days seem innocent. January 532. The Nika riots rage. Half the city burns. Justinian prepares to flee. Theodora delivers the famous speech, "Purple makes a fine shroud." She refuses exile. Justinian stays, and gives her control of the response. 30,000 rioters pack the Hippodrome. Theodora bribes one faction to split the crowd, positions troops at every exit, and orders total slaughter. Her loyal generals obey. The killing lasts hours. But she had a list, not just leaders, but personal enemies who had mocked her past. The riot became cover for massive vengeance. Afterward, she redistributes confiscated wealth to allies, funds the new Hagia Sophia, fills vacant positions with loyalists. Mass murder becomes political and economic masterstroke. Her real power lay in an invisible intelligence network, servants overhearing secrets, former actresses placed in elite homes, eunuchs managing informants, monasteries reporting movements, orphanages training future spies. Blackmail files could destroy anyone. She knew every infidelity, every bribe, every hidden preference, and used it masterfully. Her private wing featured a mirrored, purple room, sophisticated heating, hidden compartments, a private theater for elite gatherings where senators, generals, and bishops allegedly participated in acts that would mean ruin if public. Justinian's knowledge remains mysterious. Did he know? Participate? Ignore? He never remarried, preserved her rooms untouched, mourned her for 17 years. In 548, cancer claims her. Even dying, she orchestrates everything, burning documents, final audiences, choosing the moment of death at dawn in purple light. She dies performing perfect Christianity, confessing nothing of her past. Her funeral is unprecedented. Justinian spares no expense. Evidence is systematically destroyed. Yet fragments survive, hidden documents, unusual archaeological remains, coded art, medical records of unexplained injuries. Theodora remains history's greatest contradiction, prostitute turned saint, victim turned predator, reformer who exploited, protector who controlled. She rose from absolute bottom to absolute top, rewrote laws for herself, saved and nearly destroyed an empire, and died in purple, the color of both her early degradation and ultimate triumph. The servants knew the truth. They stayed silent. And silence, Theodora taught Constantinople, was survival.